everybody. So today we're at Hartwood Asylum. Bit of a bugger to get in, but we're just about to head through the fence where we can see a gap. As you can see, gorgeous building, the tower block. These buildings are fabulous, aren't they? Sorry guys, I haven't brought my stand, so it might be a bit shaky, but we'll try. It might just be a walk around because we ain't crawling under any metal and getting stuck. But there's also a nurse's home at the front of the building. Which we haven't looked at yet. What I want to try and do Stephen, could you get some pictures? I think most of it is just rubble, to be perfectly honest. Just empty rooms, really. Not sure what that looks like some kind of bridge that might have been on the railway that's around the corner, and some railway sleepers down here. It really looks like a really old-fashioned railway bridge, which is such a shame. So I just zoom out, you can tell us, yeah, it is, because there's steps. So it looks like the whole railway is being built in the back of Hartwood Asylum. I mean, those two towers are so grand. I mean, it is sealed really tight, this one. If you can hear that wind. It's been a massive site, this, you know, there used to be buildings all over it. I'm glad these places get in, to be fair, because it means they can't get trashed. Because as you know, there's some idiots about. Oh, look at that. Sorry for the unsteady hand. You can see some of it's been better. So our North East explorers like to do that. Don't know why. If I zoom in, there's a radiator up there on the wall. How cool is that? this is Hartwood Asylum. I'm just doing a walk around, guys, just to see what it's like. These are my favourite buildings. I mean, I must say the mansion we went in the other night was absolutely fabulous, but this, an old-fashioned building, is just superb to me. Fire exits, we think. Sorry guys, I wished I had my stand. I'll have it at the next one. If I just come out here. So gorgeous this in its time, but when you think these old asylums, they've probably had some horror stories as well. $18.90 on the top. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed. So what I'll do, if anybody knows any history of this place, you can put it in the comments. But I do love being a little bit of a historian, so I will be finding out before I actually post this YouTube video. But if anybody knows anything that I don't know, locals or anything, it would be great to find out. Because I know these asylums years ago had a lunacy act, and it was anybody with learning difficulties, disabilities, which is quite alarming nowadays because we know they're not a lunatic, are they? They've got a disability or a difficulty, and to think they were locked up in these places is absolutely appalling. They were never going to get better because that's who they are.
Hartwood Hospital, tucked away in the village of Hartwood, North Lanarkshire in Scotland. It's got haunting stories and paranormal phenomena to make all its history that more interesting. It was originally opened in 1895 and it ran for over a century before it was closed down in 1998. It was designed by John Lamb Murray, who taught himself architecture and engineering. The facility was built to be self-sufficient, similar to hospitals across Europe at the time. It had farms, gardens and even its own railway line. Designed in the Scottish baronial style, Hartwood Hospital is immediately recognisable thanks to the clock towers that stand at its northwestern corner. Its original occupancy was intended to be 500. To ensure these patients could be adequately cared for, a power plant and reservoir were also erected on the site. Originally known as Lanark District Asylum, Hartwood Hospital initially ran under the watchful eye of Dr. Campbell Clark, who changed his field of medicine forever. Clark was the first to establish training schemes for medical staff so they'd administer the best possible care. The practice became more widely used in 1890 when the Medio Psychological Society started supporting it and issued certificates for those who'd successfully finished the training. In 1901, Clark died and was laid to rest in the Hartwood Hospital Cemetery. Hartwood Hospital received its first extension in 1898 when 2 blocks were erected. Less than a decade later, a tuberculosis sanatorium opened to deal with the increase of patients suffering from the infection. This work was followed by the building of a new caretaker and nurses' home. Interestingly, a sister facility was erected near Hartwood Hospital known as Hartwood Hospital, and it treated mental health problems and housed patients from a nearby psychiatric hospital during World War II. Hartwood was one of the first to conduct the first lobotomies in the whole of Scotland as well. With many facilities like Hartwood, it had its dark side. It went down in history as the first place to perform lobotomies, procedures that turned fully grown human beings into shells of their former selves. Electric shock therapy was also frequently used as a seclusion. Scientific knowledge of the human brain at the time was rather primitive, and many practices were carried out differently to how they would be today. The hospital kept growing and at one point reached 2,500 people staying there. Things weren't going too well and patients reported receiving less than adequate care. It reached a point when in July 1971 those residing in the facility set up a Scottish Union of Mental Patients to advocate for better care and conditions. Things changed for Hartwood Hospital in the 80s when care in the community came into effect. It switched the focus from institutional to community care and resulted in the closure of Hartwood Hospital, and it suffered the fate of being abandoned and closed in 1995. Only the admin buildings were kept in use for a few more years, but they too were abandoned in 1998. Hospitals remained abandoned ever since, and more of it slowly turns to dust and is starting to rot away with each passing year. While it's been used as a film set a few times, the most popular one was the Gotham Orphanage in Batman 2022. The site hasn't experienced much use at all since then. In fact, some could call it a safety hazard, as you can see from all of these videos. There's also been a number of suspicious fires that have occurred over the last few years. So as you can see, Hartwood Hospital is in a serious state of decline, but it is a place of beauty as well, and it towers above the village when you walk into the village and see the amazing clock towers, and they are something that you need to look at. So if you are in the area, check out Hartwood Asylum. It's well worth the look. We absolutely loved wandering around it. It's a massive site, and maybe get there before it's developed. So if you like our videos, please share them with your friends, comment and subscribe.